Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm an intuitive, a coach, and a conscious creator. So, welcome. I am back after being away at the coast for a week and a bit, which was just a really lovely time to disconnect and connect. So, yeah, just disconnecting from my usual thought patterns, emotions, energies, everything around me and connecting with something new and something different. And you know what it's like on like a holiday routine, everything slows down, and I was able to gain some clarity in like lots of areas of my life. So I felt like part of my message today, part of what I wanted to start with, is just to say that sometimes it's really important for us to shift things up in order to maybe find clarity or reconnect with parts of ourselves that we've forgotten or maybe never experienced, or yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, so I don't really know what messages are coming through today. I am currently finding my journey a little bit more with where I'm going, in terms of life and work and everything. So I will guide you to my website, which is always in the links below, to kind of see what I do and where I'm going. But the time on holiday showed me that I've been so focused on the human idea of success, like what is it going to look like to reach some sort of goal. And I came back to the feeling again of I'm already walking the path. So I don't know if this resonates for some of you. Sometimes we feel like we're trying to reach something that we're already doing, and maybe we just haven't seen it that way yet. So I will invite you to maybe invite yourself to look at things from a different perspective. We had the Hanged Man in the last reading. One of the readings I did, I actually didn't post because I was overthinking everything. So it may have come up in a reading I didn't post, but it was basically saying, like, let's look at things from a new perspective. Let's step back and go, what am I being called to look at differently? Maybe the way you think about people, or maybe the way you think about your work or your relationships with family members and friends and loved ones and romantic partners and children and everyone, like, and your spiritual relationship and everything. Like, maybe it's time to take a step back and see, is there another way? Okay. So I'm going to do 5 cards, a sixth just for luck. Oh, and that's a beautiful sixth one just for luck. Okay, so I don't know what's coming through today. I sometimes try to like decide, like, what am I going to talk about today? And that's kind of the opposite of my work, isn't it? Intuitiveness and all. So what's coming up is aligned friendships, our Three of Cups. Always such a beautiful card to receive, showing you that. And I feel like the way it's coming through for me, which might be helpful for you, is to acknowledge the connections and relationships that you have for what they are, rather than what you wish for them to be. Because sometimes we miss the beauty in our connections with others when we are trying so hard to find something we think we need. And underneath all of it, it's less about the people and more about ourselves. So, like, let's say you really wish people would be more supportive of you. And maybe there are people who are not supportive. So that's one side of it. But the other side of it could be that they are supportive, but it doesn't feel supportive. And sometimes we need to step back, look at intention. What is their intention? Do they want to be supportive? That's where we start. That's where we connect at the heart. It's hard to expect people to be a certain way. That's been coming through hugely for me. You can tell me in the comments if this is something that's been coming through for you, or you can just reflect on it for yourself. How everyone is who they are. Everyone is just who they are. Everyone is just being who they are. And I had this really big moment last year where I kept coming back to it in my coaching and my parenting work for myself and with others, how life becomes so much easier when we go, this is who someone is. And it doesn't mean we have to be around them. Like, if how that person is how they are, and it's hurtful, that's where boundaries come in. But if that is how someone is, and we're able to step back from it and accept it. So, for example, with our children or our partners, like maybe a life partner or a spouse or whatever, if that's a relationship you value and want to be in, the more we focus on who they are, then rather than who we want them to be, literally weights just lift off. But sometimes it's closing our eyes. So I'll invite you right now, if you're in a space where you can close your eyes, connect to your heart, tap into that higher self, almost visualizing the soul self above you or around you or within you, the soul self, and maybe somebody who you are struggling to connect with or having difficulties with. Visualize yourself looking at their soul self, your soul self and their soul self. And a nice deep inhale, if it feels right. And just acknowledging the soul self of another. And maybe taking a moment to realize that our human conditioning often encourages us to want people to be different because we ourselves have been told to be different. So starting off tapping into the soul self, into the heart, and focusing also at the same time on the inner child and just allowing a message to your inner child that little you, who you are, is perfect. Who you are is perfect, just as you are. Your soul is perfect, just as it is. You've come here for a reason, just as everybody else has, and our journeys do not have to intertwine. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We can let ourselves be as we are and let others be as they are. When you're ready, you can just gently open your eyes. Okay, our next card is the World. Okay, the World card. Everything is at your feet. The world is at your feet. Everything is at your feet. But you need to believe it. That's the hardest part, is realizing that the world is yours. Like, the perspective that you create of the world is the world. So I almost want to say, stop focusing on everybody else. Stop focusing on how other people are doing things, how other people are speaking and acting and behaving, and come back to you. How do you see the world? How do you want to see the world? I have a story I want to share. I've been watching a show randomly. I don't know if you've watched Parenthood. It doesn't actually matter which show, but I do love shows like that because it connects to just real people, everyday life. So when things feel too much, or when I feel like I'm too much in my intuitive side and I'm not connecting enough, grounding down with life, sometimes I enjoy watching a show where it's life. I just watch people live. So I don't know if you enjoy that. I always feel like it's like something to, it's like vulnerable to share. But anyway, the point of my story, I'm going off on a tangent, is this. Watching shows like that make me feel like there is this community, because obviously they all know each other, but it's because it's a show. So they're not often going to places where they don't know people. So it's this false sense of connection where everyone they see, they know. So it started bringing up this thing in me of like, I don't know if you've ever felt this like lonely feeling of living around people and not being connected to any of them. And many of us live this way. I live this way. I live in a street. I'm looking at it right now out my window where, yes, I kind of know my neighbors, but not really. Like, they're there, but I don't really know them. And I've chatted here and there, but we haven't connected, right? And I felt like I wanted to go for a walk because I needed to like clear my mind, clear my thoughts. So I did a walk around the area a little bit. And as I walked, I started to feel spirit speaking, because that's what happens to me when I walk. If I need messaging, sometimes I walk or I meditate or I dance, but walking is a really good one. And I connect with the trees and I talk to the trees and I talk to the birds and I talk to the sun. And as I walk, I just start asking like for love and connection, and I just feel that feeling I was feeling. Like, I'm feeling lonely. I want to feel connected. I want to feel connected. I want to feel part of a community. And as I walked, Spirit was reminding me, that's the place you went to school when you were a kid. That's the place you danced for 12 years. And I just started remembering those people I was with and sending my energy out to them. Remember me? And they were sending back, yes, I do, energetically. Weird stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Like walking and just connecting. And then I walked down the street and I was like, oh, I remember I spoke to this person once. And oh, yes, I know that person who lives in that house. They were at school with me. And just building this, I mean, it's not to say that everyone would have this exact experience, but I'm saying this was my experience, that when I ask spirit for help, it comes in the weirdest forms. And walking and talking and experiencing, I was filled with this sense of gratitude and love for the oneness. I was like, yes, maybe I don't know these people in my street, but we're here. We're doing this together. We're around each other every day. Whether we like it or not, our energy is somehow interacting. The wave every now and then, the dog barking at your house that I hear, it's all connected. And it just brought me back. I just got goosebumps. There's the message to the oneness. We are all connected. We are all community. We're not living in the village, where we know everyone and everyone gets on each other's nerves, probably, because that would happen. That's part of the human experience. The more we spend time with people, the more we're going to see things in each other and get on each other's nerves. That's human. Anyway, that's also important because that came up for me in the walk. But reminding ourselves that even when we are not in each other's spaces, like all the time, we are connected. We are connected. We are one. There is a oneness. Okay. Ace of, what is this one? Ace of Wands, sorry. I don't always know the names of the cards. I just know the pictures. I'm not your typical tarot reader. I'm just an intuitive reader and my cards are my guide. So your Ace of Wands, I mean, it feels pretty self-explanatory, but let's see what comes through as we I did speak about this one recently. It feels like the web of connection of intuition, the web of connection of intuition, of connecting to the third eye, connecting to the fire of, and for me, fire is heart, but it's connecting heart to third eye. It's like when we connect to our heart, when we allow ourselves to light that fire in our heart, and I'll invite you to close your eyes to light that fire in your heart. And if you're not feeling the fire in your heart, telling yourself that that's okay. Just inviting it in and trusting that it will come. And if you are feeling it, welcoming it in further, welcoming more experiences to feel the fire in your heart, the warmth, the love, the connection. And then the message, you can open your eyes when you're ready, is that the heart fire and the third eye are so connected. When we are seeing from the heart, everything feels so much clearer. And that might literally mean different things to every person. So I'm just going to say it again because it means something to me, but it might mean something different to you. I can't remember what I said, but I'm going to just say it how it feels. When we connect the heart fire, so that warmth and that pure love in the heart chakra with the third eye, that's when we see things clearly. So focus on the heart and the rest will follow. That's the way I'm feeling it. The Queen of Swords, she is beautiful. She's beautifully, powerfully, she knows who she is. She loves who she is. She's sitting there. I kind of want to point out the red flag because, why not? In life, there are red flags. In the mainstream of things, we hear about red flags. This person's a red flag. That person's a red flag. Okay. All good and well. We can look at people all day and call them red flags. Who cares? Let's just look at ourselves. And by looking at ourselves, acknowledge the boundaries around red flags. Yes, people are red flags. Yes, people cause pain and hurt. And sometimes they don't have the best of intention. I'm learning that often I am too quick to go, these people didn't mean it. They didn't mean it. That person didn't mean it. That person didn't mean it. They didn't mean it. Everybody loves. Everybody loves. Maybe they did mean it. That's okay too. I think the point I'm trying to make, which I'm not really making, is something that's been coming up for me today. Let me share a story. It always makes it easier for me to explain. I saw a post today on Instagram where this lady was basically slamming every spiritual Instagrammer out there, like, oh, another coaching course, oh, another expensive retreat, oh, another person doing breath work, oh, and it was all very much like, oh, wow, well done. You've learned something for 5 minutes and now you're an expert. The way I'm saying it feels really mean. So I'm even doing it to her now. So, but what I'm saying is, how quickly do we judge others? How quickly do we step back and go, in our tall tower, look at what you're doing? That's not me. We all do it. I do it. We all do it. And I've said this before, even. This is asking us to rise above the BS. Just rise above it. Get out of it. Get away from the red flags. Focus on you. Look at who is she focusing on here? No one. Contemplative, introspective, sitting in her power. Because the more we focus on everybody else, the less we are able to go, what do I need to heal? What do I need to look at? How do I connect more to myself and my sovereignty? Sovereignty is a big word when you look at a Queen of Swords, sovereign. Sovereign, to me, the word sovereign is coming through as so sure of who I am and loving who I am that doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It's like, okay, carry on. Carry on. Like, I am doing me. I am with me. I am on my mission, doing my thing. And there's a force and a strength here. I am being prompted to speak about the phoenix. So next week, I'm doing a conscious dance class about the rise of the phoenix. It's in Benoni if you want to join. But that's not the point. But also, yes, come. It's going to be amazing. But the rise of the phoenix is that visual of, I know I'm burning to the ground and it's okay. I'm going to be a pile of ash because what comes out of the ash is stronger, more steady, more beautiful, more powerful, more sure of herself, and just soaring with a completely new spirit. And then reminding ourselves that every single person is just doing what they're doing. So, like this Instagram post, I'm coming back to that this person was like, just sort of saying, like, there are real people who do healing work, and then there are those people who do healing work, and reminding ourselves we're all just on this path. We have no space to judge everybody else and what they're doing. I do it, you do it, we all do it. But I'm saying this is a reminder to go, what's important to me in my heart? What's important to me in my heart? Coming into like that bubble, that energy, that sacred bubble I spoke about yonks ago, reminding ourselves that I have a sacred bubble, but you know what? So do you. And so does that person. And so does that person. They are connected to source just as much as I am. They maybe just don't know it yet. We're all on the path. We're just all in different places. And it's like the path is not better or worse or middle or whatever. It's just a path. And owning our path and our light and our love, that's the goal. That's all I wanted to say. I hope that's helpful. And now we have our Two of Cups. Oh, look at that, Two of Cups. It's remembering the connection that brings us so much growth and love. And maybe that's a connection with you, maybe that with yourself, maybe that's a connection with a spouse or a partner, maybe it's a connection with a friend or a child or another loved one or a parent, or bringing you to. So yes, we are sovereign. We focus on ourselves, we focus on the heart. And then here it's inviting us, and here it's inviting us to together, but it's inviting us to focus on the connections that fill, focus on the connections that bring magic into our lives, and kind of just giving ourselves time to like turn our head away from the ones that don't. You never know when that circle will come back around. Maybe never. Maybe it will, maybe it's done. That's okay. Maybe the karmic contract is done. Karmic contract, whether you believe it or not, for me, it has felt like it's played out in my life where I can just feel this was meant to happen the way that it was for me to learn this. This was meant to happen with this person because I have not yet inwardly looked at these things that keep coming up for me, patterning, and then able to go, okay, this contract is done. This contract is done. And at this time, there's an eclipse coming on the 12th. There's a new moon coming, I think, also on the 12th. And all of that energy, whether you believe in it or not, comes in to help us out with the old, in with the new, like the phoenix. I don't have the death and rebirth card, which I kept getting last time. Out with the old, in with the new, allowing things to die and fall away in order to rise to new heights, rise to new possibilities and new versions of yourself. And the last card that I pulled was the moon. I felt like I needed to just get a sixth one. I feel like this card needs no explanation. It's a dreamer's card. It's the dreamer. For me today, it is. It's the dreamer as she travels the depths of her soul. I don't even want to say more. The light, the dark. So the shadow, the light. Many times it is very difficult for us to travel into the depths of who we are. It's so much easier to ignore it and to maybe look at others, maybe find distractions, maybe numb out, maybe distract ourselves. But when you take the journey deeper, it may feel like you are being sucked under. But sometimes we need to look at who we are deeply and say to ourselves, I'm selfish. I'm I'm an idiot. No, I'm trying to think of words. That was a silly one. Um, the only way to explain it, and this will mean different things for different people. You take it how you take it. Just tapping into that depth of all those things that bug you in others, all those things you wish you weren't, all those things you think you're not, and saying, you know what, maybe I am. I had this experience last year where something was sticking here. And it's those feelings that are telling us something's here. I'll watch TV. I don't have to feel it. I'll stay busy and plan lots of things. I don't have to feel it. I'll do my conscious dance. I don't have to feel it, which you think, I mean, that's counterintuitive. It's meant to bring it up. I will ignore it and I will ignore it, but it's there. And one day it was like turning to face it, like something following me. And I went, what do you want? What do you want? And it was like, you are a bit like that. I'm sorry. That thing that I didn't want to admit, I can't even remember what it was. Like, let's say selfishness. It's the only one I can think of. Like, so badly not wanting to be selfish. I'm not selfish. I'm not selfish. I'm not that you are sometimes. Oh, sometimes I am. And the whole weight lifted, the feeling went, whew, sometimes I am. Because we are so conditioned in perfection. Schooling, parenting, religion, whatever, must be perfect, must be perfect. Say the thing, do the thing, be the thing. I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm not that. I'm not that. I don't do that. You know what? Sometimes I do. Okay, it's okay to do that. Inner child, come please for a hug. It's okay to be that way sometimes. I was just saying to my daughter yesterday, we have very similar temperaments and we're very quick to outwardly express rage. Gosh, that's hard to tell people because how dare you express rage outwardly? That's not okay. You know what it is? I do it. And when my daughter does it, man, it riles me up. Like, what are you doing? Why are you expressing this rage so outwardly? That's not what I say to her. But, and then we get into a tiff and then I stop. And once we've all like come back down and regulated, I'm like, oh, you know what? It's okay. I do it too. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry, mom. And I'm like, it's okay. I do it too. We outwardly express our rage. Are there healthier ways to do it? Yes. Are we trying to be conscious of not putting it on other people? Yes. Do we sometimes still put it on other people? Yes. Does that make us bad people? No. And that's the message I keep wanting to put out there to myself and others. Like, we are who we are and we are not perfect. As I said, bringing in inner child, bring in that inner teen, because being a teenager is a SHIT show. It is. We know it is. Not for everyone, but for most of us, it is so complicated. Our brain developments, our emotions, our relationships with the opposite sex, with friendships, with our own gender and sexuality, and our parents. And like, what the hell was that? Right? Like, what the hell was that? and then going, oh my gosh, you tried so hard. It was so hard for you inner teen. Like I saw something today where a girl was looking at her inner teen. I don't remember where it was, but anyway, it was on Instagram or Pinterest or somewhere, saying to the inner teen, like, I just love you so much. Like, I just love you so much. Like, what you went through, I love you so much. Anyway, so backtracking, what was I saying? Inner child, inner teen, and then inner self, just self of now, young adult, adult, if you're an older adult, like who you are, what you're doing. Sometimes you're going to stuff up. Sometimes you're going to hurt someone's feelings. Sometimes you are going to drop the ball. It's okay, actually. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we holding ourselves to these levels of perfection and then pretending that we're not that thing? This might not resonate for you, but clearly it's resonating for me. And that's why I get so deeply passionate about it. Finding our shadow self while finding our light, because they are both there and they can both exist at the same time. I don't know how long this is, but I rush through it and I shouldn't because I don't want to post a really long video because in my mind it's like people have things to do. But if you've made it this far, I hope you enjoy it. And also, I'm very grateful for the space to express my feelings. And I feel like they are, and express my intuitive thoughts because I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Hmm. There is nowhere to rush to. That's it. That is a shadow side. That is a shadow side that I'm working on. Maybe it's something you've worked on where it's like people don't have time to listen to you. And maybe you heard that as a child. I know I heard it from certain people, maybe teachers or family members, and that was one that stuck. And maybe someone right next to me, it didn't stick, but for me, it stuck. Speak quickly. People don't have time. Like maybe being the youngest child. These things all play into the whole thing. But what was I going to say about it? And then saying to myself, you know what? Sometimes I am going to say too much. Okay. And then, okay, compassion, perfect timing, compassion for self, compassion for others. I have another card in one of these decks, and whenever I pull it, it's a big heart and it's red. This is from the Angel Guide Oracle from Kyle Gray, but that one's from the Archangel Doreen Virtue deck, where it says, in this, I don't know the exact words, in this situation, try to have compassion for self and others. And sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't. I just can't get there. And then I'd literally just call in spirit, my guardian angel, my guides, and I just say, please help me to have compassion for myself. Help me to have compassion for others. Whatever that means, whatever that looks like. And it's going to be different for everyone. Do the work. Do the work. This card sometimes triggers me because it sounds like a command, do the work. But the more I read the booklet and the more I tap into it, it's not that. It is a loving guidance. We can sit around and think that we don't have work to do, or we can sit around and say, I don't have time to do the work. I will do it when I have a moment. We are being invited to realize, if we wish to, this is the way I see it coming through, you don't have to see it this way, that the work is continuously there if we are willing to tap into it. And it doesn't mean we have to live in work mode all the time. I have to constantly be healing myself and I have to constantly be on this journey. We also need a break. We also need to just be human and live and go to the sea like I went to, and realize that sometimes I'm just taking life too damn seriously because I'm trying so hard to do the work all the time. But something I actually was going to open with, and thank you, card, for reminding me. I had this moment today where I was like, I need to make an Instagram post about this. And then I didn't. Sometimes the small things are actually the big things. So sometimes taking 5 or 10 minutes a day to do the work, whether it's saying a prayer, whether it's meditating, whether it's just tapping into the feeling that keeps coming up every time you see a person that you struggle with, or every time you go to a certain place and you feel a feeling, tapping into that feeling and saying, I acknowledge that you're here. In your relationship with somebody, tapping in and saying, how can I approach this situation differently, or whatever. Sometimes the small things are actually the big things, taking that little bit of time to just do that thing. And the last one, signs and reminders. big one. Just reminding ourselves that Spirit is literally always speaking to us, always communicating with us. We just have to look. Spirit is not there for more of us. You know, some people are always seeing things and always experiencing things. Spirit is not there more for some people than others. Spirit is there for all of us. We just need to learn how to see it. And maybe you see it differently to somebody else, and that's okay. There are certain things I can't see, there are certain things I can't feel. But acknowledging and having gratitude for the things that I can has gradually increased the messaging. Finishing off, as I see the rainbow. When I was away, I was stuck in some feelings. Like although I was having a break and it was a beautiful time away, there were feelings that were sitting and sitting and sitting about certain things that were staying with me, and I wanted them to go away. It's that feeling again of like, I don't want this to be here. And I was trying everything. I would go sit and look at the ocean. This will take it away. It will just be nice and calm and peaceful. It's still there. It's still sitting with me. It's still sitting with me. And it felt so trapped. And I just wanted it to leave. And on the last day of our holiday, I saw there were rainbows in the sky because it had been raining, and they were just beautiful, like beautiful rainbows. I'll try post it here. Like when I do editing, I'll try put a picture here of myself with a rainbow. And I went back to my journal and I realized that the day retreat I held like 2, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, last month, I journaled during the day retreat because all I wanted to do was find more peace, more excitement in my life, more fun. And at the end, I drew rainbows. And I was like, the rainbow, the rainbow, the rainbow. And a few years ago, when I was in a difficult situation, I kept praying and saying to God, I need to get out of this situation. I don't know what to do. Send me a sign. I just want to know. And I kept seeing rainbows, like randomly, like in the sky, and then like in a book, and, you know, like just all over the place. And the rainbow was symbolizing for me everything has an end. You just need to kind of like, it's that whole like dancing in the rain before you can see the rainbow, or everybody needs the rain before you can have the rainbow. I don't remember the saying, but you know what I mean. But the point I'm making is is that spirit is always there, sending us messages, giving us guidance, love, holding us in some way. So I'm going to leave you with that. After all that, I feel like I've spoken a lot, but it was fun. So thank you for being here. I hope that the messages brought you something that you were looking for. And I think that was everything. I will be holding the Sacred Space gathering later in August. The Sacred Space gatherings are just an online gathering of a small group of people, just to tap in, have that time to tap in and connect with others. It involves like a meditation, maybe a reading, maybe an activation, depending on what comes up, and then having time to share the space that you're in or anything that's on your heart. So those will be at the end of the month. So if you would like to join the Sacred Space WhatsApp group, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.